What is up, everybody? My name's Tim Williams. We're here to break down today's 9-game MLB slate over on DraftKings. If you're new to the channel, what's up? We're going to slam through this 9-game slate. We're going to break down each and every game, talk over, under, hitting, pitching, this, that, weather. A lot of good weather on this slate. We got one game that doesn't look too great. We got some games that are part of a doubleheader. We'll go through all of those things. Before that, little housekeeping, make sure you hit that like, subscribe button. Really appreciate all the good feedback I've been getting. We've been getting some good winners this week, so this is awesome to hear. And let's just jump right in here. First game, we have the Indians taking on the Pirates. Pirates home favorites, 8.5 over under. Hentages, taking on Brubaker. Hentages 5.7K, not a whole ton of interest here, 23% strikeout rate. The walk rate is a little high, 11.5% of the time, 40% hard contact. He has been extremely hittable from both sides of the plate, especially the right side. Brubaker 7.4K. I actually don't mind him as a pitcher in general, right? But we're talking fantasy here. So 24.2% strikeout rate, really not that bad for the price. He's a ground ball pitcher, near 52% ground ball rate this year, 26.7% fly ball rate. So he does look really good at times. He's really struggled the last two outings. He's definitely somebody that's kind of on the fringe for today's DraftKings game here, and especially for my player pool. It really just depends on if Ramirez is going to be in the lineup or not for the Indians. I'm not really too interested in the Indians in general. The prices are up a bit. If Ramirez is in there, it kind of shakes things up a little bit. And then on the other side, the Pirates, I rode with them yesterday, got a late home run there by Reynolds. I'm going to ride back on that bandwagon today. Hayes 4.5, one of my favorite plays for sure. Reynolds 3-1, Stallings, Polanco for some cheap value. I don't mind getting to him. Hentages is not a very good overall pitcher. So Pirates, definitely some interest. Next, we have the Nationals Mets. Mets favorited here at home, 8.5 over under. You have Corbin taking on Walker. Corbin 7.6K. Just really hasn't been all that great this year. 17.8 strikeout percentage there. Walk rate's a little up, 9.5%. There's games where he pitches well, and then there's games where he doesn't. So he's super risky to me. The Mets, they're just kind of up and down too. So you don't know really what you're going to get. So high risk, high reward, right? The 48% ground ball rate does an okay job limiting fly balls, really struggling against right-handed batters. And then Walker 9.4K has been really good the last two outings, 32 and 36 DraftKings points, 25% strikeout rate. Walk rate is a little bit up, 10%, does give up a lot of hard contact, but has pitched really well for the majority of the season. It's a little bit of a tougher matchup against the Nationals, but they are home. As far as bats go, Schwarber 3.8K, and then the rest of the team's just a little bit too pricey. Turner, Soto, they're like over 6K. There's plenty of other spots I'd rather get to. And then on the Mets side, I think Lindor, you have to talk about 4.6K. He's been hitting the ball a lot better as of late. Alonso for sure. Pilar, 3.3K, just as like a kind of punt play, somebody that hits the ball from the right side of the plate that I think will go very low owned. But other than that, I can't really get to, full stack on either side. I like the Mets bats a little bit better just because of the price. Next, we have the Blue Jays Orioles 10 over under here. You have Ryu taking on Harvey. Ryu 8.9K, solid overall pitcher in a decent matchup. These East Coast games are going to be possibly high offense. The weather is, mid to upper 80s, hot weather, good hitting ballparks. So this being one of them. 22% strikeout rate for Ryu, excellent control, just overall, 47.6% ground ball rate, does a good job limiting fly balls. He doesn't give up a ton of home runs. And then on the other side, Harvey just has not looked very good at all, really in probably the worst spot on the slate. Really love the Blue Jays bats here. So does the rest of the field, I imagine. But Semien, Bichette, Vlad, Biggio, if Rowdy Tellez is in the lineup at 3K, really brings you some nice value and kind of lowers your overall point per dollar Blue Jays stacks. I'm definitely going to have some interest in the Blue Jays today. Harvey just really does not look good. And I might have to just ride with the chalk a little bit here and try to get different other ways. But yeah, Blue Jays for sure. Next, we have the A's, Yankees. Yankees at home favored at 9.5 over under. Manaea taking on Montgomery. Manaea 10.1K, little pricey, right? 23.5% strikeout rate. He's priced up like an ace. The strikeout rate isn't there. He's been pretty good this season, I'm not going to lie. 33% fly ball rate. He's going to need to get that fly ball, limit those fly balls today. The weather is nice at Yankee Stadium. It's just a tough matchup. Priced up, like I said. And then on the other side, Montgomery, 7.1K. I think that's a fine price for him. He's in a tough matchup here at home against the A's. 24.3% strikeout rate there. Fairly average, but very, very inconsistent. Much worse against right-handed batters. The A's look good all year. Canna, 4.7, Chapman, Murphy. I really love Murphy against left-handed pitchers. And then Olsen, I don't mind the lefty-lefty matchup, 5.8K. He's been one of the best hitters in baseball this year. And then on the Yankee side, they're just kind of priced up. Judge, Stanton, the obvious two for power reasons. DJ's hitting the ball a little bit better at 4.7K, but the Yankees in general just always been kind of priced up. I haven't really been rostering them all that much this year, and it's been fine. But they definitely have their spots, and those three guys, the main first two, definitely somewhat in play. But like I said, Manaea doesn't really give up too many fly balls, so it should be an interesting matchup, but probably going to look elsewhere. Next, we have the White Sox Astros. 8.5 over under. The Stros favored it at home. Keuchel, a little bit of a reunion here. Could be a revenge game narrative. Keuchel versus McCullers. Keuchel 6.8K. Not really somebody I'm interested in rostering in DFS. Strikeout rate is very poor, 13.6%. Gets a ton of ground balls, 58.5%. 20% fly ball rate. Does give up a lot of hard contact 41% of the time. He's just a pitch to contact type of guy in a really, really terrible matchup against the Astros. And then McCullers, 8.8K. I think that's a fine price for him. 27.6% strikeout rate. We know he has that nasty curve. He gets a ton of ground balls. Does a good job limiting the fly balls. He's only topped 20 DraftKings points twice this season. That has me a little concerned. With McCullers, it seems like if he starts to struggle a little bit, third, fourth, fifth inning, they are not hesitating. They're going to pull him right out of that game. White Sox can be really tough. So, and then look at the bats, like pricing as a whole, like Anderson, Abreu, Moncada, just an example. Those guys are under 4.5K, 4.3K, 4K. Prices are way down, so that is really tempting, but it's not really, they're not really in the best spot. So, I'll leave that up to you. And then Astros, Brantley 3.7K. He does have 2 home runs against Keuchel, which is rare because it doesn't seem like he gives up a ton of home runs. The Astros, they're interesting to me. I could sit here and write all their names down. I think it's a complete stack or a complete fade, depending on how you view this game. Do you think Keuchel is just going to go 7 innings? He has been pitching pretty well lately. Or do you think it's going to go the other way? And you think the Astros are just going to jump on him? So it's a complete stack or fade for me. Next, we have the Red Sox Royals, a 9.5 over under. Red Sox favored here. Eovaldi taking on Minor. Eovaldi 8.3K. I think price just kind of right. Maybe a little too pricey, even 22.7% strikeout rate. Has been doing a good job of limiting fly balls. And then on the other side, Minor 9.5K, 26.6% strikeout rate. Does give up a lot of fly balls, 43% of the time. The weather is super nice in Kansas City. The wind's blowing out. Much more interested in the bats in this one. Kike at 3.6K, especially if he's leading off against the lefty. Really don't mind that. Verdugo 4.2. Martinez, I don't understand what DraftKings is doing, pricing him under 5K. He's a solid bat. Renfroe 3.8, very good against lefties. Devers 5.4K. You can easily pay up to get him with some of these guys. Bobby Dahlbeck hitting in the 9-hole under 3K. Definitely in the mix. And then Royals here, Mondesi, my favorite Royals bat, 4.3K. Insane what he's been doing since he's come back. Merrifield, Perez, Santana. The other 3 that I'm interested in, I think it's kind of a 3-man stack or just a single, throwing in Mondesi somewhere. Should be interesting. Royals, Red Sox, I like the over under here. So I prefer the Red Sox bats, no doubt about it, in that one. Next, we have the Cardinals Braves 6.5 over under. This is part of a doubleheader. There's going to be some rain possibly, although I don't think it's really going to affect this game too much. So overall, doubleheader games, I'm just not 100% interested in unless the price is right. Wainwright 9.3K. Obviously, these guys have a chance to go pitch a complete game shutout, right? 7 innings. Wainwright might be the guy to do it. The price is kind of up 30%. Fly ball rate, 21.8% strikeout rate, just a tough matchup against the Braves. And then Wilson pitching for the Braves, 6.9K. He has pitched better the last 2 starts, but he has a really, really poor K rate, 14%. Cardinals aren't, the best team. They aren't the worst team. I'm not really interested in bats in this one just because it's shortened. I don't mind maybe getting to like a Tyler O'Neill at 3.1K just as a one-off who has major power upside against a pitcher like Wilson. But that's kind of it. Next, we have the Marlins Cubs 9.5 over under. This one was probably one of my favorite games to kind of stack up. It looks like there is going to be some weather in Chicago, possible rain delays, little maybe postponed. They might not finish this game. That kind of worries me a little bit. So we'll just talk about, the bats and the pitching, but yeah, I'm a little worried about this one. Thompson taking on Mills. Thompson 6.6K, had a nice outing his last time out. Just not enough of a sample size. The Cubs do have a lot of strikeouts in that lineup, but they also have a lot of power. And then Mills 7K, bullpen guy, kind of getting another start here because of some injuries. You take him out of the bullpen, and I think that kind of makes the bullpen a little bit weaker, or they have to rely on some other guys. Mills usually gets the bulk of the bullpen innings. He's not going to go more than probably 3 or 4 at best. He's a big ground out guy, 55% ground balls, 24% fly balls, gives up a ton of hard contact, and he's just kind of bad against lefties. Lefties on the Marlins, Jazz at 3.8K, priced down, had a nice game yesterday. Sanchez 2K, had his first major league home run. Really love those guys from the left side of the plate, and you're not really spending a ton of salary for them. Marte, Duvall's been hitting the ball crazy the last 2 games, 3.5K. He looks solid to me. I really, really love the Marlins in this matchup. But the rain, it gives me a little bit something to think about here. I don't know if they're going to actually finish this game, so it is kind of risky. And then on the other side, Bryant 5.7, my favorite, probably just one-off, although that is pretty pricey. Rizzo just gives you an example of like how kind of priced up some of these guys are. Thompson had a pretty good game last time out, so it makes me a little bit hesitant to stack up the Cubs here, mainly because of price. And then last and final game here, Twins, Rangers, 9 over under. Twins favored here. Kenta Maeda taking on Dunning. Maeda 6.3K, has looked okay the last, couple times out. 20.6% strikeout rate, which is not great, but look at his salary. It's only 6.3K. This is a guy who is a proven pitcher in the past, who's just kind of shaking some things off. That's in a pretty good matchup here. Rangers strike out quite a bit. Maeda, 31.6% fly ball rate. He has been fairly hittable this year, but that's just over the course of the whole season. Maybe there, something was wrong with his mechanics. We don't really know. He has looked okay. If he can get you 17, 20 fantasy points at 6.3K, I think that's solid. Dunning, 7.2K. I really like this kid. He's been pitching pretty well this year, 25% strikeout rate, walk rate 8%, kind of, getting up there a little bit, 56% ground balls, does a really good job limiting fly balls, 26.3% of the time. He doesn't really seem to go more than like 70, 80 pitches, which really concerns me. So unfortunately not interested there. Definitely like Maeda in this one. Kepler 2.9K is probably leading off for the Twins. Buxton is back. That's a good price for him, 4.6K. Cruz 5.5. I gladly will pay for that. Polanco as well. I don't mind it. His price coming down a little bit. Once Polanco gets into like the 5K range, I'm a little hesitant because the power isn't always there, but the guy can steal bases. He can get on base. So 4.6 is a pretty solid price. And then on the Ranger side, I'm not too interested. Maeda doesn't really give up a ton of home runs. But Gallo, Lowe would be the 2 guys I would be interested in for that power upside, but they're kind of boom or bust. I definitely prefer Maeda in this one. So we'll see. That is it. That'll do it. My name is Tim. Thank you for watching. Really appreciate it. Best of luck to you today. Don't forget to subscribe. I have a link right in the description. Like this video. Please comment below. Let's talk baseball. We're all baseball fans. We're all DFS heads. So really appreciate all the support. Peace.